Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Truth Behind Xiaomi Software Updates. Now, before we begin, let me just give you a quick background of what has happened in the first three episodes. In the first episodes, the performance was pretty raw and pretty good. In the second episode, we saw good Antutu performance, but Geekbench dropped and UX benchmark dropped as well. And in the third episode, the performance still went a further little down, but it was not above the first update. Now, this is episode number 4. The software version that you're looking at over here is 11.0.9.0, which is based on Android 10. Now, this is the update with which Android 10 was released for the Pocophone F1, and it promised a lot of new things along with a lot of good performance. So, over the past few days, the 3 episodes combined have crossed more than 5,000 views, and you've been asking me one question, which is the best MIUI update for the Pocophone F1. Now, after this update, we're going to have one last video, which is 12.0.2.0. That is the latest update. And then we will have a surprise edition, a wildcard edition to this, in which I will actually go ahead and flash 10.3.7, the most widely requested MIUI update for this particular phone. And then we will, compare everything in that 5th or 6th episode, and we can have a final answer. But for now, the reason I'm saying all of this at the start of the video is because this update has been somewhat good. It has been actually good. We actually have a bar graph ready today, which we're going to discuss as I promised in my first 3 episodes. So yeah, Xiaomi is slowing the phones down, but we have a twist in the tail, and this makes it even more interesting, because if in 11.0.9 they just woke up from the dead and improved the performance all the way, why did they bog down the performance in 12.0.2? So all that is for later, but for now, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. In the description of each of my videos, you will find a link to our Telegram community or channel. You can go ahead and join us there as well. And if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button or donate to our live streams. Now, without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to Smartphone Tutorials. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, so episode 4 it is for this particular series. It's yet to go viral. I'm requesting you all to do it because we are doing it the right way. Nonetheless, let's see what we have on the table today. We have a Pocophone F1 running MIUI 11.0.9.0. The Android version for the first time in this series is Android 10. Now, Android 10 has been great overall compared to Pi, so no complaints there. I actually went ahead and did the whole same testing process over the last 2-3 days while I was traveling. I made sure that the phone was off, it was charged, and it was cool, and then ran Antutu and then Geekbench, and then we tried UX benchmark. So let's talk numbers of this particular update first, okay? Then we can look at the bar graph and we can do the comparison and all sorts of things. So first things first, we're going to talk about Antutu benchmark over here. This thing is amazing because a lot of ROMs detect this as a benchmark application, and look at the score there, 356,813. Now, this is a 6 GB RAM, 128 internal variant. So this is the base variant. The storage doesn't count as much, so it doesn't have 8 gigs of RAM. So this is a good score for a 1.5 to 2 year old device. I say 1.5 to 2 year old because that is how old the Pocophone F1 was when this particular update came out. So this is a mid-life update. Like, you have initial updates, and then you have updates when the phone is about to stop getting updates. That's what MIUI 13 will be for the Poco. After 13, I don't think the Poco will get any updates. Nonetheless, that's a discussion for another day. So 356,813, as you can see over here, these are the scores in case you want to compare it. So this is a pretty good score over here. Even if you go ahead and have a look at the ranking and stuff, it's not really going to make a difference. So hold on to that thought, hold on to that score till we actually go to the bar graph that you'll see on the screen. Let's actually move to Geekbench. Now, here's where the question comes into the picture. You are scoring a lot better than your initial update, and you're scoring way better. So Geekbench should tell me the same story, right? Well, let's check it out. So where is Geekbench? Over here. Geekbench again, even though I'll show you the chart later, this has a way of showing history, the way the benchmarks were ran, and the phone has not been formatted since. So yeah, we started with 9.6.14 and then we went to 10.0.6.0, we went to 11.0.5 and then we are at 11.0.9.0. So 431.1544, not the best score, definitely not the best score this device can do, but pretty decent compared to the 375 we got last. So okay results over here as well, not disappointing, not exciting. Let's see UX benchmark over here, 256,000. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. So let me show you the real picture over here, what exactly is happening. In the first 3 episodes, what happened is initially the performance was great apart from Antutu, okay, and then in the second update the performance sort of, you know, shook a little, it increased a little in Antutu, it went down in UX benchmark and you know, systematically down in Geekbench for both the subsequent updates. Now what is happening is Antutu is saying a lot. Okay, now this is where we move into the comparison on the bar graph. So let me pull it up for you real quick. Now what you see on the screen is self-explanatory. To the top left, you have the blue color, which is for 9.6.14 based on Android 8.1. Then again, you have 10.0.6.0, again 8.1, and then 11.0.5 and 11.0.9. Nothing for 12 yet because that video is yet to come. Now, if you look at Antutu itself, 323,000, okay? Then we move to 344,699. So that's an improvement. And then we lost 4,000 points again. Now over here in the latest update, we are scoring almost 357,000. So if you compare that to the first ever benchmark, that's, you know, at least 30 to 33,000 score more. That's a lot of difference. So if that's like 10% improvement, which is great. If you're going to give a phone which is 1.5 year old a boost of 10%, it's very good numbers. So then let's move on to Geekbench, which is in the center. First, let's cover the single core. So we started with, okay, now single core performance, be it a computer or phone, single core performance matters for games. So if you're playing PUBG and yeah, single core performance will give you direct FPS most of the time. All right, so we started with 505, we went down to 470, then we dropped to 375 and we came to 431. So if you look at the comparison over here, you know, going up, going down, but overall if you look at Antutu, it's specifically going up. Like we started from 323, we went to 344, we just dropped by like a small margin, that is 340, and then now we are up to 356,813. So if someone, you know, were not that technically sound and were just to look at Antutu, okay, Antutu is a good way to benchmark your phone, they would definitely feel that, you know, with every update the phone has gone up. But when we look at UX benchmark, the story has gone otherwise. We started with 233,752. We moved to 227,147. We dropped all the way to 167,940. Now this was an update 11.0.5.0. Something drastically went wrong because we not only scored low in UX benchmark, we also scored low in Geekbench single core and multi-core. And in 11.0.9 is when they probably fixed the issue. So that is my point. This particular period of getting 11.0.5.0, it's very close to, if you look it up, I'm not gonna, you know, even check and let you know. If you look it up, this is when the new Poco devices like the Poco X2 and all would have come out. So, you know, when something like this happens, the manufacturers want to push you to get a new phone. All right, so this is probably after a year, if I'm not wrong, and this update, you know, drained your performance. Then they came up with Android 10 11.0.9.0 and that restored the performance. I'm not using the term boosted the performance, because although the UX numbers have gone up by say 20 odd thousand, but the actual benchmark that we are looking at over here, Geekbench, from 505 single core we've gone to 431 single core. So that's still, you know, losing out around 12 to 15% of performance there. In multi-core, we've gone from 2035, 1946, 1201 back to 1544. So that's, you know, still like 20-25%. So Overall, yes, 11.0.9, if I show you, it is snappy. The animations are there. It is quicker. It is, not as slow as it used to be in the previous version. So you can definitely roll back to this. Now the reason why this particular update is highlighted is because this is actually an update on which, even if you're on a locked bootloader, you can downgrade from MIUI 12 to MIUI 11.0.9 without doing anything. At the most, you'll have to back up your data and format your phone. So the story so far is that, very honestly, Xiaomi has redeemed some respect over there, that okay, at least we've fixed the performance in the latest update. But the next episode is going to be even more interesting, because in this whole series, in these 4 Android updates, or 4 MIUI updates, it has been up and down, up and down. It has never been constantly down and constantly up. Now the companies do this to find out if anybody is not able to identify and stuff like that. So when we go to the next video, in which we will talk about MIUI 12.0.2, that will be the final verdict, because after 12.0.2, Poco is not going to get an update for a very long time. That update is already out for like 1 or 2 months, and see, in the next 6 months it won't get any major updates. But the point right now, to conclude episode number 4, is yes, Xiaomi is still the culprit. They are still not giving you the complete performance. It is not that it is not possible, because if you slap on a custom ROM today, you will get better benchmark numbers. I have also, I would like to address this as well before ending the video. I have also seen a few subscribers make a comment in the comment section that okay, I have a Pocophone F1, I'm running MIUI 12 locked bootloader, I'm scoring better phone, better numbers than your phone. Couple of things that you have to consider. Which country are you living in? If you're living in a cold country, your phone will score higher. Okay, right now the country which I live in, the ambient temperature is around 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. That is one. Secondly, how old is your phone? You might be talking to me from a phone which is 3 months old, and my phone is 1 year old or 1.5 year old. And the situation of most of the Pocos out there right now would be, they would be more than 1.5 year old. So that's when a device is expected to perform. And last but not the least, is your Poco F1 a 8GB RAM variant or 6GB RAM variant? So consider these things. Mine is a 6GB RAM. I'm in India and in the city of Mumbai, and my phone is more than a year old. That is how an ideal Pocophone F1 should perform. But nonetheless, this series has been very, very famous and very, very exciting. Stay tuned for episode 5 and 6. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll see you in the live stream, in which we'll play PUBG on Apple iPhone, or we'll probably play some other game. But stay tuned and stay subscribed and share it as much as you can. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at Smartphone Tutorials. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.